But Gaffer, excellent result against Cheltenham last week. Do you feel like that's a result we've had coming for a while?
Yeah, look, I think obviously them committing professional suicide helps. But like I said after the game, and having watched it back, there were only going to be one winner in that game. They did deserve their one. Never mind, the amount of goals we scored. So we obviously played well. I think regardless of what's put in front of you, and we're going to have to play well again, and we're going to have to keep playing well. That's the challenge. So yeah, it didn't surprise me, but we've got to make sure that it's not a flash in the pan. That you're not going to score 7 every week. We've got a real tough game this weekend, but it was pleasing. It was pleasing that, like I said, the attitude, the professionalism of the players. There was no panic or there was no backward step. I thought we were particularly ruthless as well, which is pleasing. So, like I say, you can only beat what's put in front of you, and we did that really well.
And it was such an impressive result, almost unprecedented. We've spoken already off camera, but the last time we've scored 7 goals was in 1979 against Darlington. So I'm sure those kind of stats must be so pleasing for you. It's a proud moment, really, for that to be your team.
Yeah, I don't really look at it like that. It's not about me. It's never about me. It's about the players. Always about the players. They deserve the credit. I don't win the game of football. I appreciate it's me that loses the game of football, but that's the nature of the beast in football. So that comes with the territory. But look, it's about the players. It's always about the players. They deserve a huge amount of credit for how we've started the season. Last 16 of one of the 2 major cup competitions. We've scored 3 goals in 5 out of the 10 games, league games. Scored 7 for the first time in a league game, EFL game, since 1979. I don't know where we are on touches in the box or XG and all these different metrics, but it's because the players work hard. It's because the players listen. It's because the players want to get better. It's because the players are improving. It's because the players are making progress. And we've said it from day one this season. This season's all about progress, and I genuinely believe we're making progress. We've got, like I said, we've got a real tough game this Saturday, probably the toughest of the season, against a decent team. And it's going to be a real good game, a real interesting game. And hopefully we get the same result as we did there last year.
I know you've already spoken about Jamie Walker in previous interviews, but just touch again now you've had a chance to look back at the footage. He's a talented player, isn't he? And I'm sure that's exactly why you brought him in, to unlock that door, because it was a tricky first half and he unlocked that.
Yeah, he had a great chance before, and the keeper pulled off a brilliant save down to the keeper's right in the bottom corner, and then he saved his follow-up. We had a couple of other chances at the bar and stuff like that, but it took his first goal was like ridiculously good. The second was sublime and technically very good, and it was 2 real moments of quality. But that's what Jamie is. That's what Jamie brings. That's why he's at this football club. He's a great bloke, like top pro, real good bloke, family man, and we're delighted that he's showing what he can do, to all the fans, because we see it on a daily basis. So, yeah, we're glad he hit them 2 balls like he did.
A full week of training as well. What sort of stuff have you been focusing on this week? Because I'm sure not too many negatives.
Look, there's no, I wouldn't say negatives. It's about making everyone better. So it's all about our principles. Which principles depend on previous games, next games, and how we can improve certain players, so that we're working on them like individually or in a collective little group, so we can improve them. That's how we do it. Yes, we've got half an eye on the weekend, as always, but it's about making players better. And like I said, the players deserve a huge amount of credit, because they've bought into the culture of the football club, of trying to make progress, trying to get better every day. And that's every one of them, by the way. Like, every one of them. I can't sit here now and say that any of the players don't want to get better, and that's a really pleasing thing for a manager to say, I have to say. So, you know, when you put the sessions together in the office, when we feel as though we're going to get some reward as coaches, and that's quite comforting. It's quite, you know, it makes me warm inside, if you like, because that's my job. My job's to make players better, and I appreciate I have to win games of football from a purely personal point of view to buy the time for that to happen. But I think anyone who's watched us over the last 20 months, something like that, I think they will definitely say that we've got better and individuals have got better, and that's why we do the training that we do, because I'm the biggest advocate that if you want to get better and you try and get better in training, you'll get better in the games, and I think that's been the case so far.
I'm sure you're pleased. You've also got more players at your disposal. We played a reserve game, 1-0 against Chesterfield. Some players came back, including Gilson and Lavelle, Rosie again for 30 minutes, and I'm sure that's pleasing as well. You've got an even bigger group to work with.
Yeah, I think the most pleasing thing from Monday, the attitude of every single player, whether it was a Danny Rose at 31, 32, or Alex Graham at 17, 18, was absolutely spot on. They were professional. They played like we want them to play, as in, you know, these principles that I'm keep talking about. You know, Paul Cook said to me afterwards, he said, can see they've been well coached all the way through. You know, so massive credit to like Woodsy and Carl Lester and how they coach the scholars. You know, and what Loz is doing as head of coaching, and Benji. You know, it's filtering down, and that's really pleasing because they become better players. And when they step up and they're playing games like that or Virtue Trophy games, they've got a greater idea of what they're doing and they're a bit more comfortable, because it's tough for the young players. But I was really pleased with all the players. Some didn't play very long, so they could train Tuesday, because that was the plan. Some played longer, so, you know, Jude played 90 minutes. He was outstanding, like brilliantly good. Hit the bar, you know, had a chance, just missed a chance, worked his socks off. You know, I'm not just picking him out. There's others, you know. So, well, all of them. So it was really pleasing to get some back, or continue to get them closer to 90 minutes, whilst also showing the right attitude and the right sort of tactical understanding. And that was really pleasing.
Salford up next on Saturday. Like you say, we beat them last season. It was a good result, difficult game. I'm sure, like you say, you're expecting them to be a really tough test, because they're a fantastic team, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a good team. You know, they're one place above us. They've had a good start to the year. They've had a real good start. We know what they are. They're forward running, athletic team. They'll get it forward quickly, and they'll try and run past you. You know, that's what they are. They'll have high wing backs, and they'll get it up there. So we know what's coming. We've got to stand up to that. It's going to be really important for that bit. And then we've got to make sure we do our bit and cause them problems going the other way. And if we do that, it should be a good game. I'm actually really looking forward to the game. I think it'll be our toughest test this year.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of focus on the defences. Both ourselves and Salford have got a high XG. Salford have got the fourth highest, we've got the highest. So I'm sure you're expecting there to be a lot of focus on your back line to prevent us conceding, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't know them stats. I knew we were up there somewhere, but I didn't know Salford were there. But it doesn't surprise me, having watched them play. Like I said, they are, you know, play forward, run forward team. It's as simple as that. And they've got some quality players up the top end of the pitch. They've got some good players all over the pitch. That's why they're fourth in the league. You know, it's when you get into 10 games, 15 games in, it tends to sort itself out where you are in the league at that point. It doesn't mean there's not the odd anomaly. We all saw like a Doncaster did a year or two ago, I can't remember, where they were near the bottom and come from nowhere, and maybe a Walsall the other way, although they were a bit unlucky. They were a good team. So we know that they're going to be a tough challenge, but like I say, we know we're a good team as well. So I think it's going to be a really good game.
And lastly, the full backing of a sold-out away and 1,400 Town fans going to be back in the lads. It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's, you know, I think every single person in this, at the training ground, is desperate to do well for the fans. You know, I saw a couple of tweets yesterday when I spent half an hour on social media, which massive mistake. But anyway, some of the things I was seeing, like, oh, we've sold, you know, 600 away tickets for Saturday, was one League One club's tweet. I'm thinking, wow, you know, we are so lucky. And we're all desperate to give the fans something to cheer about, you know, every game, you know. But you know, that longer term ambitions that we've all got, you know, I'm eternally grateful for the backing that we get. I think it's taken everyone a while to understand what we're trying to do, which is understandable. That's not criticism at all. But I think everyone can see now what we are trying to do and where we are. And so now it's about all being as one, and I think we are. I think this football club's all as one, all trying to strive, both on and off the pitch. You know, that some of the work that goes off the pitch sort of goes unnoticed because either I don't speak about it or nobody gets the opportunity to speak about it. But the work that goes on off the pitch is also very impressive. So we've just got to continue it with, like I say, with fantastic backing, and I hope that we make them proud again on Saturday afternoon.